All right, mate. Well, fantastic win last week to kick your season off against South Hobart, but is it the real acid test this week against Olympia?
Last week was good, no doubt about it. We play Olympia this week, who we only played, I think it was 3 weeks ago, and they gave us a bit of a lesson in football. So I think, we've commented before, I think every game this year is going to be a tough game. I think the gap is really closed with a lot of the teams. South in I suppose, a redevelopment period of time, and we've got Olympia coming through where, a lot of their players have been together now for a few years and they're playing some good football. So it's going to be a tough test for us, but hopefully we've learned lessons from 3 weeks ago.
What lessons have you learned? How have you gone to improve on that loss and some of that?
Look, I think we need to keep possession a lot better for a start while we've got the ball, and we need to keep that possession, I think, higher up the park rather than in our defensive third, and not allow teams to press us in our defensive third. Diving in, I think holding players and working more as a unit across the line to defensive lines. I think we improved in the second half on that last week, which gave us some good benefits. But it's an area where we still need to work and develop.
Seen firsthand the other week in that Summer Cup final what Olympia are capable of. Do you view Olympia now as that team to beat?
Look, I think there's a few teams to beat. I mean, you never rule out South Hobart. Northern Rangers, to be honest with you, have impressed me, and I know they took a defeat last week, but they've still got players to come in. They had 2 suspended. They've still got, as I understand it, 1 if not 2 more imports coming in. So Olympia are going to be one of those teams, as I believe we will be, South Hobart and Rangers, and you never rule out Devonport. So I think it's a mixed bag this year, I really do.
And how's the squad looking, mate? Any injury concerns? Does Jaden return?
Jaden will play. No doubt. We took the precaution with him last week. Probably the only one of concern at the moment. We'll see how he's going. He trained the other night, Jordan Moore. Other than that, everybody's fit and raring to go.
What's wrong with Muzza?
Just that big clash he had with Brown in the second half took the wind out of his sails a little bit, and a bit of a sore leg. So he's recovering from that.
Any change to Ben Phillips' situation, or is it still?
No.
Is the team ready psychologically, Chris? Because that seems to have been an issue in meetings in the past. You just haven't been able to out-psych them.
Yeah, look, I would hope so. We've talked about that. We've talked about coming off a high and then the lows in the past. So we certainly have focused and talked a lot with the players with regards to, I'll use the term again, the mental side of the game and match preparedness and all that sort of stuff. So you can talk about it a lot, but it's up to the individual player as to how they ultimately prepare for a game away from the training park. So I would certainly hope so. Tomorrow night will tell. I think it'll be a fantastic clash. I think it's potentially a physical game, hopefully with plenty of skill involved.
Such a great rivalry between the 2 clubs historically. Would there be a little bit of spice out there on the pitch, do you think, tomorrow night?
Look, I think you've got to be careful. I think everybody likes a hard game of football within the rules of the game. I think that's important. And the game develops from that. It can be a psychological side of the game in relation to playing hard early. For some people are up to that, some people aren't. So there may be a little bit of that, but from my perspective, it needs to be played within the rules of the game because you don't want to be playing with 10 players against 11 or things like that. So I'm fairly stern on that sort of stuff.
Cool. All right, how do you go about repeating the result of a few weeks ago in the Summer Cup final? Was it business as usual, or do we need to tweak a few things, do you think?
Not necessarily tweak anything. We've been working very hard. Zebras are definitely an improved outfit on when we played them a couple of weeks ago in the Summer Cup final. So that was seen on Friday night against South Hobart. They played very well. So this will be a lot closer, and we're anticipating a fierce clash.
Does Jake's distribution from the back worry you?
I think it's probably related to his conditioning, to be honest, and he started, well, obviously he broke his foot before Christmas and then went to America, so he's taken a while to come good. It's improving, and we know he's a quality player, and that is, it's bound to improve throughout the year.
I'm not denigrating him, but he himself seemed upset at some of his long passes. He was annoyed with himself. They went out of play constantly.
Sure. Well, look, he's played at a high level, and in the Victoria Premier League, Victoria Institute of Sport, as well as school. I do believe it's directly related to his condition. He is improving and working very hard every day. So I think as he becomes fitter, becomes more conditioned, his technique will get better along with that.
How is the squad looking, Macca? Are there any injury concerns, changes from last week?
None to speak of. There's no injuries at all. Fabian has improved and will likely feature in the game. So no, everyone's raring to go. Looking forward to it.
How important is this game considering the Zebras beat South? Obviously you guys are one of the title favourites this year. How important is it to beat the traditional rival?
Well, every time we play Zebras, we want to do well. It's a highlight of our football calendar. We just love it. And Chris and I have played in these clashes in the past as well. So I think we both understand that the tradition involved in these games, and we're just focused on this game and making a good account of ourselves.
Is Manny a confidence player? Like when he's on fire, and other times he can be anonymous?
I think Manny, possibly, but I think this year what I've seen is an improvement in his maturity. He's working very hard at training now, doing all the right things. He's very clear on what his role is and where he needs to be at certain moments of the game. So, no doubt, confidence comes with that. But at this point in time, he's doing very well.
So he'll be your major strike weapon?
At this point, yes.
What about Gustafsson?
Well, he's had some niggling injuries. He is improving all the time. He is a quality player, and at this point in time, he won't start, but he's someone who would be a very good impact player if we're struggling, say half an hour to go. But yeah, look, he's a quality player, and if he keeps improving, it puts pressure on positions. So no position is safe.
How's Dimitri handling the fact that he's number 2 now?
Dimitri is in, he has a young family, and last year found it difficult to go away, especially to away games, and the commitment required these days he found difficult as well. So really, he's actually enjoying the fact that I'm not pressuring him to come to training 3 nights a week or come to Devonport. He can show up 1 to 2 nights a week, and he's working as a mentor for goalkeepers like Spiro Paradises. So he's doing well and seems happy.
So both sides have got a goalkeeper as an import. There's pressure on the Zebras keeper. Is there any pressure on your import goalkeeper?
There is pressure on our goalkeeper, absolutely. There's no doubt, and that's why one of the reasons why we do bring in imports is to put pressure on positions. And I think it's a positive thing because it actually, and Manny Securis is a classic example, his work rate has gone through the roof this year, and I feel it's because he feels there's pressure on his position. So I think it's an important dynamic in the club.